place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to
yes, Grenada, Carrico, Monica, and the rest of the world. I'd like to welcome you all to another Mikey Live program. People, this is where it all happens. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. All your brace, all yourself. Tingo, nice. Listen, we have a real thing to tell all you about. I want to welcome the people on Facebook. Last night, it was no ordinary night for you. Hours upon hours of downtime for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. These are the group of apps that are under the Facebook brand. Listen, people call police. I'm making it up. People call police about the Facebook crash. I'm not making it up. You go look and you will see for yourself. This is no ordinary place we're living in, but no, seriously, not Grenada though. In other parts of the world, people called police and police had to put out a little notice saying, listen, y'all, this is not a matter for the police. So please don't call us. Anyway, so we have a lot of things to tell you about. We want to welcome the people viewing via WPG10 right now. Here are your headlines. Amendments to be made to NIS legislation to save it from bankruptcy. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. 2019 property tax demand notices are out. If you get a notice, go and pay them people their money. A good Samaritan is in Grenada, and we will tell you what sort of work he is doing. Now, we've got the results of the GOT elections. Yes, and we will be telling you about it. Media survey reveals social media is for the first time in the history of Grenada more popular than traditional forms of media. Well, hello. You understand what I'm showing all ya? Well, hello. Anyway, long I telling all of that, all little hin. You know, I mean, all little hin. I know Mikey Live will just take over the place. Anyway, let me that talk me. Now, on a serious note, that's very interesting. We'll talk to you about that. Also, how Mr. Killer ran with it. We have a nice presentation for you. National Secondary School Games, the Western Zone games happened today, and they say it was a success as well. Boeing loses $25 billion in market value. Yeah, boy, a lot of money to lose. Carnival Cruise Line drops Antigua. And last night we told you about criminal castration, chemical castration being recommended by a senator in Trinidad and Tobago for pedophiles, for people who like to trouble little children, people who are sexually attracted to children. A senator is recommending that. We'll tell you about that in a moment. A 51-year-old male is the latest homicide victim in St. Lucia. And a significant Sahara Dust event is expected this weekend in Trinidad and Tobago, and to a lesser extent, we may be affected as well. Folks, we have that and more to tell you about when we return on the program. I want to encourage you to share the business. When you share the business, that's how other people get to know that the business is live. All right, people? And the word is business, not business. Business. Get it right, folks. We are coming back as we remind you that the headlines is being brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean, Colombia and Emirates International, and WPG10. We are coming back, and when we come back, it's real news in Olelili Lolo.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are with fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like it with spice mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada for the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the girls. They can't. Get in your section, get in your direction. Get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
It's the Red Dot clearance sale only at Courts, and products are priced to go. Shop and save up to 60% off a wide range of items across the store. Come into Courts today and save big on items with the Red Dot, up to 60% off. The Red Dot clearance sale is on, only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Yeah, boy. Always, so you ready to go? Let me get a little joke now. I went and I got some mango from a lady, and I said to her, "I ready for me mango, you know, because mango in season." She gave me some mango long, and she says, "Mikey, the mango not ready yet. Give it a 2 days." So I said, "Hear me now." I say, "Oh, mango ready. I come out from Mongrambi, you know. I mean, you can't tell me when mango ready. Mango long don't need to be yellow skin to be ripe, right? Once you feel it on your hand, you know, you feel like a pregnant, then you know you could eat it. Bye, yo. I take me fast self and bite the mango. Next thing you know, the thing blister my lip. Blister, bad enough people. Thing hot. And I said, "Jan, no." And I mean, good thing all you can see a close up and a big place mash up. Yeah, boy, but at least lesson learned. You know what I mean? Yeah. All you, when them people tell all you the mango already yet, listen to them people you hear. Moral of the story. Now, last night we were telling you that Elvis Moraine people. Now, Mr. Moraine I know him from St. David. And folks, again, there's further confirmation that there is a new supervisor of elections in the person of Mr. Elvis Moraine. Let me show all you. And by the way, there's a lot that's going to be happening pretty soon. I believe that most people with their ID cards who would have gotten the first batch of ID cards, well, that will be expiring soon. You understand? So then soon, I think he will be cut out for him, you know. Anyway, I don't know, the thing's skipping. But anyway, I'll see Mr. Elvis already anyway. So like we just skip that, you know, because you gain trouble. So he is Grenada's new supervisor of election. The Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, confirmed the appointment of Mr. Moraine at the weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday. Now, Mr. Moraine, who is also the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, assumed the role of supervisor of election on March 13 yesterday. That was his first day on the business. Now he replaces Alex Phillip, who has retired from the public service. Now, as supervisor of election, Mr. Moraine is responsible for the general supervision of the voter registration process and for the conduct of the election of members of the House of Representatives. Now, Mr. Moraine holds a Master's of Science degree in Human Resource Management and Development from the University of Leicester. All right, I pronounced that right? Leicester? I don't know if the E or the I silent. Anyway, he has a bachelor's degree in Education Administration from the University of the West Indies and a certificate in teacher education. His experience includes 30 years in the field of education, with his last 2 roles being principal of the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School and Chief Education Officer. Now, Mr. Moraine has also facilitated many leadership and management training events and has also served on many committee and national organizations. So we have to say congratulations and welcome to Mr. Moraine again. I remember Mr. Moraine from the years of the Junior Calypso Monarch. He used to always be there. I think he was associated with the school in Pomrose. You understand? And so on. So, I mean, yeah. So big up Mr. Elvis Moraine, and may God bless you in your new role and things like that, and business and things like that. And remember, the best election coverage is right here on Mikey Live. So work with us. You know what I mean? Work with us. All right, Mr. Moraine, we're moving on. How we looking? Oh yeah, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, today was the big Carib Wave event. And we are talking about the simulation exercise, and that is to test how ready Grenada is with regards to response to natural disasters. And this time around, it was particularly a tsunami. So they do the thing in Sortes in St. Patrick, people, and they ask the children to, you know, to be part of the whole thing because they want to see how we ready, how ready we are. People, even them children and them children excited about the business thing here. You know what I mean? So we spoke with the PRO of the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, Alvin Crosby, who gave us a report.
Caribbean Wave 2019 exercise was a success for us at NADMA. And first, we want to say thank you to all the participants, all the schools, the medical station, the Hilarion home, all the people who participated, the people who volunteered to ensure that this year's exercise was the success that it has been. Of course, it happened in Carriacou and also in St. Patrick, and from indications from both venues, in addition to some private entities, the GTA and also Sol, doing their own testing also today. We say thank you to all for partaking. High points from the exercise: we were able to evaluate communication, evacuation, and more so, put that SOP that was created for the Tsunami Ready project to the test. We are now in the process of evaluating. At the end of this, a report will be compiled, and from it we will be able to say what we need to work on, areas that we need to work on, what we need to tweak, what we need to make better, what are the areas, what are the new opportunities that we would have seen popping up during the exercise that we can capitalize on, all in an effort to ensure that Grenada is tsunami ready.
Thank you very much, Oswin, and of course we continue to do these things, all right, you know, just to make sure that we are ready. Okay? Oh yeah, the next thing that we have to tell you about Mr. Frederick in Mount Granby. I don't know if any of you, is anybody on the live aware that Mr. Frederick died? Yes, Mr. Frederick Thomas, I think his name was. His nickname was Tom Payson, and Dad. Yes, very popular man in the village of Mount Granby. He's like a pillar of the village, and that's the village that I grew up. Now, word out is that he passed away, you know, and I know that's going to hit the community really hard, you know. So just thought I should mention, you know, as one who grew up in the community under Mr. Frederick, under Dad, I must say how much of a good man this gentleman was to everybody in the village. You know, that one shopkeeper who, when mommy sent him to the shop, it doesn't matter any other shop that's in the area, but you're going to go the extra mile, because you know when you go by Mr. Frederick, you're getting a little lollipop, you can have chewing gum, a tiki, you might get like a tiki or a bubble gum, right? That's Mr. Frederick, you know, and all you behave all yourself, eh? Right, that's Mr. Frederick. Tough loss for the community. Folks, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has indicated that government will be amending the legislation that establishes a national insurance scheme to ensure that it does not become bankrupt. But the amendment will only happen until there is wide public consultation on the issue. Said that we stated that at present NAS scheme will go bankrupt in a few years if we do not increase the retirement age and in some cases increase the contribution to NIS per worker. That's according to Mitchell. I know he told journalists and so on that the Weekly Post cabinet briefing. He says, but all this can only be done after thorough consultation with the public on a whole. He stated that while explaining the recommendations submitted to the cabinet pertaining to the operations of the proposed national health insurance, it will also be part of the consultation. Now, the cabinet will not make a decision until the consultation, he says, and that's a promise. Among the first group of persons to participate in the National Insurance Board consultation is journalists. Now, the board is the 5-member decision-making body of this scheme. All right, very interesting. Of course, you can read up more on this because we are going to have it posted on our website. Now, the Inland Revenue Division is advising the general public that all property tax demand notices have already been mailed. Now, property owners, you are encouraged to make a concerted effort to collect your demand notices at your post office mailbox or from your mail delivery personnel. Property owners, you are also reminded that it is your legal obligation to inform the Inland Revenue Division of any changes to your property, including the construction of a building, renovations, and other improvements, as well as any changes to the contact details such as your mailing information and or email address. Now, please be advised that the property tax demand notices can be used for many purposes, including as a supporting document for U.S. visa application. Adequate proof of ownership is what it provides for you to the embassy, for use in court as evidence for bail and accused, like if you want, for example, bailing out an accused person, so at least you could say, well, this is what I have as evidence. All right. And there are a lot of other benefits that comes from paying your tax and having your receipts and so on. All right. Payment of your property tax before June 30th would result in a 5% rebate of your tax as well. So there are a lot of other benefits that we have posted on our website. You can check out at the end of the program. Of course, you'll find us talking a lot about our website because we would like to incorporate what we see on the program with what's on the website. Of course, for example, if I say anything that you don't clearly understand or something that you would like to go back to, at least there is somewhere that you can get the information that we read on the program. Hence, a lot of the times you'll hear me talking about our website. All right, good. Now, there's a Good Samaritan here in Grenada, and his company is called Attach a Leg Grenada. Now, according to him, it's a non-profit organization which aims to provide a cost-efficient and effective and high-quality service to amputees in the Tri-Island state. Now, the founder of the organization is Mr. Gilfie, and he's a prosthetic engineer with more than 15 years working experience in prosthetic services. He has worked in the US and other countries for quite some time. Now he's here in Grenada and he has told a very interesting story. He told us about why he decided to begin his business here in Grenada. I met him. In fact, I saw how I got in contact with him is that I saw some of the work that he was doing online. And I thought, well, whoa, this is happening in Grenada. This man is actually in Grenada doing this. And so we tried to get in contact with him and we were able to do so. So he spoke about why he decided to begin his organization here in Grenada.
We have a huge issue here in Grenada and up along the island chain in the Caribbean with diabetes and complications that arise from diabetes. And it is absolutely awful. So at least what we can do, we can relieve some of that suffering by being able to offer what we do.
And so we asked him exactly. So then there were so many other islands that he could have chosen to do what he does. And so we decided to ask him, why did he choose Grenada? This was his response.
I think Grenada picked me rather than I picked Grenada. It's just, this is where I found myself wanting to stay and wanting to find something valuable to add to it.
Now he says that persons can contact him, and once they, okay, just 1 second. Okay, sorry, I apologize for that, all right? Now he said that, you know, that he's willing to work, right? He says that once persons are eligible, then the organization will try their best in seeing how they can help these people out. Now he's saying that the organization has helped almost 100 amputees here in Grenada, and he's looking forward to reaching 100 or reaching the actual 100 mark in a few months. He talks about his experience helping out amputees. In fact, there is one amputee that I encounter from time to time, and it was interesting to know that he also helped that amputee.
It is something you can't really explain it. You can't. There's very hard to describe the smile and the look from the people's eyes, the gratitude. It's just something that you feel.
Although, would you imagine? Huh? What do you imagine? And when he speaks about helping people, he lights up. Now, despite being a non-profit organization, he says that everything in the world has a cost. He says that the provision of prosthetic services should not cost what the market wants it to cost. And he also gave a breakdown. And it ain't cheap, people. He gave a breakdown of what it actually costs.
For example, the average cost of an entry model prosthetic leg in the United States would cost around $5,000 US, right? And you can calculate what that turns out to be in EC. What I tried to do is, and I have been able to so far, the client should not have to pay for the materials needed to make that person a prosthetic leg, but the charge that comes along with it is for the application and the service. And that is just to cover the cost of going to see them and the aftercare support. Once I make somebody a leg, they need something to be changed or they need something looked at, then they call me and I go and see them wherever they are.
Yeah, folks, so his organization is there. Of course, you can check it out on YouTube. It's called Attach a Leg. You can just probably type in Attach a Leg Grenada, and you will get to see some of the work that he is doing. Of course, you will see when he attaches the leg, and when some people walk for the first time, the joy and, you know, just the expression on these people's faces. So of course, he's doing a great job here in Grenada. Again, they are also available on Facebook. You can simply look up Attach a Leg Grenada. Oh, give him a clap now, White Tears, man. Y'all don't hear them news every day. All sitting down like if somebody sleeping. White Tears, boy, put something on the screen, man. I never see that yet. Encouragement. The good, the bad, and the Mikey. That's the good we tell you there. Take all the time in me, you know. You understand? Now, before we go, I just want you to know that he says he wants to thank Grenadians for your support. You know, and they look forward to continue working with Grenadians in helping people to walk again. Oh yeah, the results of the GOT elections are out. Now, here's how it goes, all right? There's a new team of persons that has been elected to head the organization, all right? Now, members were elected at the elections yesterday, March 13. The President General is Lydon Lewis. Now, he went on unopposed, so he retains his position. All right, First Vice President Marvin Andel, General Secretary General Tessa McQuilkin, Assistant General Secretary Melissa Hippolyte St. Rose, and Treasurer Gordon Welsh, and of course there are trustees and so and things like that. But I would like you all to congratulate the members of the executive. Now they will be in that position for the duration of 2 years. So congratulations to all the members, all the trustees and so on, all the candidates and so on, those who got positions that they wanted, and even those who didn't get positions that they wanted. Well, all the best to you same way. All right, guys, good. How are we looking for time? I notice my program want to type with me today. Take your time, you hear? Take your time. All right, good. Want to do what you want with me tonight? Take your time. Earlier, a media survey reveals that social media is for the first time here in Grenada more popular than traditional forms of traditional forms of media. Hello, you know, right? Anyway, so according to this report, social media is for the first time more popular than other traditional forms of media in Grenada. And this is among the findings of the latest Calabar Media Cadres Media Survey. Now, the survey was conducted in every constituency in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, and used a representative sample of 1,000 persons, it says. Now, the survey differed dramatically from the Calabar Media 2015 survey, which showed at the time that social media was in a third place behind radio and television. In 2015, radio and television ranked most popular. They tied at 28% of the market respectively. Now, however, even then they say social media was already on the rise, capturing 15% of the market. So between 2015 and 2019, when Mikey Live started again, look at your following program. They said due to the dramatic rise of Facebook in particular, which was polled separately from other forms of social media, Calabar Media advised its clients to invest heavily in Facebook advertising because it was starting to challenge radio and TV. Quote, when we looked at the data back in 2015, we were amazed at how much a challenge Facebook in particular was to television and radio. Its rise in popularity and its ability to stand on its own when compared to other mediums led us to give very clear advice. We told our clients in 2015 that Facebook was the way to go in terms of advertising and messaging, said Barry Collymore of Calabar Media. Now, Calabar Media accounts this dramatic rise in popularity to software and market innovations in social media. It says that the increase in smartphone usage, driven by more affordable data packages and faster speeds, are the main drivers of the rise. Certainly, the ability to go live has made Facebook a more desirable and relevant medium. It has put a powerful tool in the hands of all its users, allowing them access to the mass media market for the very first time. The unique access traditional media had to this market has been taken away. This has both huge consequences and opportunities for traditional media, says Collymore. You understand? Good. However, personally, I think radio would always be able to withstand the test of time. But TV, I'm giving TV 2 more years. kinda. Unless program directors and so become really creative and integrate social media in their daily programming, then hello. You see what we on WPG10 doing? This is what needs to happen, or else crap or smoke your pipe. You have to put IV on TV in the next 2 years. IV and all kind of thing, and the thing in the nose. Yeah, and oxygen. Life support for TV. If man fail to realize what's happening, you know what I mean? And they will let leader talk. You know what I mean? Earlier, how did Mr. Killer run with it? There's a new production that we want to show you. Folks at Trinidadian called me yesterday and said, Mikey, Mr. Killer and the others really did it for you. You understand? But we are talking about the history that was made in Trinidad. You understand? By Mr. Killer capturing the so-called monarch title. Remember, this has not been done before. And many would have dreamed about doing this. Many would have fantasized about being the first to take the Trinidad, the crown, from Trinidad. But guess what? A Grenadian, Mr. Killer, was the first person to do it.
Run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, start to run with it. Run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, start to run with it. Run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, start to run with it. Run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, run something, pick up something, start to run with it.
I had some stress, so I picked some shots. But the amount of thing ready to just spot. I heard a voice talking in my head. He said, go to the vet, you can't go to your bed. So I said, who is talking, and where you from? The voice tell me, my name is Mr. Rum. You hear the iron? That means it's that. Don't let no party style here. Mash it up flat.
Tell me pick up something, anything. From tell me to grab something, anything. I just want to pick up something.
Wicked things over and over. He has done the same thing over and over. Same thing? Yeah, has done the same thing over and over. Wasting the water of our lands. The king lead us in the battle. We don't fight, we fight. Say don't worry, cause I am Superman. And you see all my haters, normally I duck you. But when I drink me rum now, I want to tell you.
He tell me pick up something, anything. From tell me to grab something, anything. I just want to pick up something, anything. Watch how I go grab something, anything. From tell me to run, 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 run. Pick up something, stop, run. Make some noise, some soca.
Run with it. Run with it. Run. I tell you, I'll slap that computer too. He threatened me tonight and I'll find it playing kind of games with me. Alright. Run with it. Alright folks, so that's a very interesting production. Now we're moving over to another thing that happened today. How are we looking for time? National Secondary School Games, the Western Zone today. It was hosted at the Cuthbert Peters Park. You understand? That was the second leg. The first leg was in Tong. The participating schools were MacDonald College, St. Mark's Secondary, St. John's Christian Secondary, St. Rose Modern Secondary School, Happy Hill Secondary School. You understand? Since I know myself, they named that school St. Rose Modern Secondary School. Big up to St. Rose and St. John's Christian Secondary because that's where I'm from. You understand? Earlier, Anyway, organizers are saying that today was another successful day for them. We have a prepackaged piece for you on the games today.
What I've seen on the ground in terms of the competition from the athletes, I am extremely proud. That's the decision to have these games was a right one, a great one. And the students are excited. They're having good fun. But let's look at where we're at. This is an opportunity for young people to showcase the talents and to demonstrate to the rest of Grenada and the world that we have talents here that could compete and compete well. And of course, we are in Kirani James part of the world. And I think what I've seen so far, it augurs well for the development of youth sport in the country, and as a government we'll continue to support this.
I am very excited to see the students get the opportunity to participate. When we went around to the schools to register the students, so many students wanted to and were eager to, and it's great to see the the number of students here today.
Over the years, sports has earned a place where I could safely say it is of pivotal importance. So I see Grenada, a year as 2019 without sports is like an academic and like an athletic famine. We just have to have it. Without sports is as Trinidad without oil. We just have to have sports.
How do you feel to have been given the opportunity to run today?
I feel great.
So how much did you miss school sports this year? How you feel about the fact that you didn't have school sports and now you get the opportunity to run?
Feel great. So that I could run here now.
We started preparing for the school sports, but then when they tell us that you won't have any sports, I stopped going to training. But I still had in my mind that if not this year, it will be next year.
It was a good feeling to run. I mean, to represent your school. With the students trying to work on a training session because of what happening with the teachers and the government, we decided that we're going to have our own training.
I didn't want to run, but I had to make my school proud and try my best.
It feels very amazing knowing that though it was just the both of us, that gave me more inspiration to go more and to do better in my race.
Will you go back and train to prepare for that?
Of course I will, and to do much better, not come in second or third, first only.
Yes, man. So the next stop will be, well, the Eastern Zone. All right, guys. Yeah. They say about 200 athletes participated in today's activity. Earlier, we have to start going a little faster because what we see happening is that we're running out of time. All right. So the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, is that the latest bad news for Boeing arriving on Wednesday afternoon. We're talking about losses for Boeing, eh? And we are talking about because of the plane crash. The United States joined other countries and they grounded their 737 MAX planes. Shares of Boeing plummeted, fell 3% immediately after President Donald Trump made the announcement. You understand? And they continue to sustain losses. Losses amounting to billions of dollars. 25 billion in market value. You understand? I hear that little thing they say there was an airline still flying a Boeing in Grenada, and they're asking Grenada to ground that airline. Do not let it come here like that. Ground it. So Grenada would respond soon. So let's see what's going on. I'm just paraphrasing because we are running out of time. I'll post this on our website as well. All right. Carnival Cruise Line has dropped Antigua. Yeah, the Florida-based Carnival Cruise Lines. It has abruptly cancelled all future port stops in Antigua and Barbuda. And I know that's going to be a hard blow for them. Now we have monitored report from the HTS on this new development. Yes, folks, we're running out of time, so we have to move. We have to double up a bit, all right? So let's take this one and we come back.
Carnival Cruise Lines has cancelled all scheduled calls to Antigua effective March 13th, 2019. The announcement comes 2 weeks after Prime Minister Gaston Brown accused the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association of exploiting the region. In a statement issued midday Wednesday, Carnival stated that government officials in Antigua have taken steps which indicate that they do not want our cruise lines and our guests to visit. So for the time being, we are focusing our itineraries on the destinations that are more welcoming. Carnival confirmed that all 4 ships scheduled to sail to Antigua and Barbuda would be shifted to other ports. They are the Breeze, Magic, Legend, and Pride. President of the Antigua and Barbuda Cruise Tourism Association, Nathan Dandas, told reporters that once the cruise company pulls out of the country, the other brands it owns may follow suit, including Princess, Holland America, Seabond, and other European lines. He said this is a cause for concern as these cancellations will impact everyone from business and store owners to tour operators, bars, and restaurants. The announcement also follows the Antiguan government defense of its decision to enter a multi-million-dollar agreement with the London-based Global Ports Holdings GPH in February. GPH will develop the cruise port in the capital, St. John's. The Antigua and Barbuda government said on Wednesday that Carnival cruise ships were expected to bring around 250,000 tourists to the island. It is not the first time that Carnival is pulling out from Antigua. 10 years ago, the company dropped the country from its regular 7-night Southern Caribbean cruise itinerary. At the time, the country's tourism minister said he was informed of the decision, which would cost more than $40 million annually, via email. Chelsea Joseph, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Chelsea. And yeah, that's bad news any way you look at it for Antigua. Is chemical castration a viable option for pedophiles? Is a question that's been asked, and yesterday we were sharing that with you. But I'm asking you for your permission for me to delay that story, and that probably we could do this at story tomorrow because it's not time sensitive, if you will permit me, because we are running out of time tonight and we have some more stories that we want to tell you about before we leave. A 51-year-old, as you give me the permission, we move over to another story in St. Lucia, where a 51-year-old Castries businessman has become St. Lucia's 6th homicide victim. And it just won't stop. Here is a story from HTS News Force on this development.
Nearing the end of an ordinary day for this hard-working family when tragedy struck. Armed bandits, not for the first time, marched into this community store located at the intersection of Cedars and Waterworks Road and discharged live rounds at 51-year-old Stan Pistol, who was manning the store at the time. His wife said that when she heard the sound of gunfire, she felt something terrible had happened.
Last night I came from work and I packed my vehicle, about to go and meet him so that we can close up to come home. And I saw a young lady running up the road, and after that just gunshots littering up the place. When I left my vehicle to go, I just knew, I felt that that's where it was coming from.
Within minutes, Stan Pistol lay in a pool of blood. He had been shot in the head. The bandits then grabbed the cash register and fled. He is being remembered as a reserved but helpful community man.
When I got there, he was just lying down in a pool of blood. If customers and people, the neighbors surrounding, just there, lifeless.
His wife says she cannot fathom life without her husband and father of their 2 children.
Do they even know what the family is going through? The friends, the kids that they leave fatherless, the wives, husbandless, to face everything that I'm going through right now and will continue going through. It's tough. I mean, you hear about it happening to other people, you feel for them, but when it hits home, only when it happens to you, then you know how hard it is. It's not easy.
The previous employees had left the job following robberies by men brandishing guns.
That's the third time with him. It has happened previously in the past with my staffs. As a result, they had to leave, and my husband and I decided to run the business on our own. But last night was just the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. That void, that space that I feel inside, that thing, I hope it fills that void in them.
This is the 6th homicide for 2019. To the family and friends of Stan Pistol, his senseless killing has left an irreplaceable void. Police investigators are probing this latest killing. Joachim Duplessis, HGS News Force.
I thank you very much, and folks, we are running out of time. Let me quickly tell you about the Sahara dust. We are getting a report coming out of Trinidad and Tobago that says that a wave of dust will affect the Twin Island Republic from tomorrow. I'm just looking for that for you as well. Tomorrow, just a little bit tomorrow, and the bulk of it will happen on Saturday and on Sunday. All right, and when you look at the modules, you would see to some extent that Grenada may just be affected as well. All right, and so this is what it is, the Sahara dust. Okay, so folks, what we are going to do right now is we are going to take a break and come back, and when we come back, we've got the national report for you. Stay tuned, we'll be back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the tongue. That is how we are with fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada for the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the gas. They can't get in your section, get in your direction, get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, how we going, how we going. Follow the mass going, how we going, how we going. Get in your section.
Have you always wanted to get your health checked? What's been the holdup? Time? Money? Or waiting to actually be sick? Well, the Rotary Club of Grenada, in collaboration with the International Federation of Medical Students Association, invites you, the general public, to come on out to our Health Day this Saturday, 16th March 2019, at the Montrouge Playing Field from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on out to receive free, yes, free testing for diabetes, hypertension, vision and hearing, HIV testing, basic children examination, and much more. No more excuses. Make it an occasion for you and your entire family.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
The Ring Promotions presents Proceed, the reunion. Grenada, this is it. Wednesday, April 24th, and it's going down above the Ramada 2. 2, Wednesday leading into the Easter weekend.
Tell me, baby, are you done talking?
It's a reunion of mind, spirit, friends, and music, featuring today's hottest DJs in the mix, playing the biggest hits from the 90s.
Jump around and you know so you're ready.
Versus present day hits.
Run me.
Ladies, get your early bird $35 tickets now. Plus, you can bring a 375 ml plastic bottle drink or less on board. General admission $45. Get your tickets now from Charlie's Bar and Pierre's Barbershop Victoria, the Natural Punch Shop, and Heather's Boutique in St. George's. Boarding time 7 p.m. Boat sales at 8 p.m. sharp. Proceed the reunion Wednesday, April 24th.
Alrighty then, folks, and it is now time for the National Report.
A successful Western Zonal game staged at the Cuthbert Peters Park. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for today, Thursday, 14th March 2019, I'm Delroy Lozan. More than 190 athletes competed in 58 events at the National Secondary School Games Western Zonal Meet on Thursday. The athletes from the 6 secondary schools on the western side of the island came out in record numbers and competed in friendly rivalry at the Cuthbert Peters Park on Thursday in what was dubbed a successful National Secondary School Games Western Zonal Meet. The athletes received support from their peers and in some instances their teachers. Former principal and educator of the St. John's Christian Secondary School, George Wilson, who attended the sports meet, said sports plays a pivotal role in the overall development of the students.
I went in person to St. John's Christian Secondary School, chose a gun and mobilized the students. And as it were, I impressed upon the athletes, turn out today in large numbers and give your best as customary. Make St. John's Christian Secondary School proud, and I come to see that is a reality here at Cuthbert Peters Park today.
Education Officer for District 2, Leolyn Christopher, said that she was happy with the participation of the athletes, but still a bit disappointed with the level of participation from one of the schools, although a number of children registered for the games.
I am very excited to see the students get the opportunity to participate. When we went around to the schools to register the students, so many students wanted to and were eager to, and it's great to see the number of students here today. However, it's still a bit disappointing because in my district, District 2, we registered approximately from 2 schools, over 100 students, about 140 students, and of that number, only about 60 students are here, and the majority of those students are from Grenada SD Comprehensive. The other school, McDonald College, very poorly represented, so it's bittersweet. Many students showed interest in wanting to and they were excited, but to actually be here today, so it's bittersweet.
Curriculum Development Officer for Physical Education and Sports in the Ministry of Education says the response from schools in the Southern Zone sent the team back to the drawing board, hence the success in the Western Games.
We would have looked at the Southern Zone and we saw some of the places where we went wrong, and we would have tried to work on it and use a different strategy for this the second zone, and I think so far it has turned out to be very good for us. The numbers here is very high. We have 190 something athletes participating today, and I'm surprised myself, and that just goes to show that the children and them, they want to compete, because this is the time of the year when we have these sporting meets and stuff.
One of the students of the Happy Hill Secondary School who won the under-17 girls 100-meter race said she was extremely happy for the opportunity to participate in the games and looks forward to April 5th for the final at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium.
It was a good feeling to run, to represent your school. So yeah,
How hard have you trained?
Well, we have not been training since, but we're trying to work on our training session with the students, trying to work on our training session because of what happening with the teachers and the government. We decided that we're going to have our own training.
Very nice, very nice. So how much are you looking forward to the national games?
Miss, I'm looking forward. Mr. Go there and do my best.
David Hopkin, Education Officer for District 6, where the sports was held, says sports plays an integral role in a child's overall development.
We are mindful of the situation we're in, and to see the level of participation, I think it is impressive. And I want to first congratulate the teachers, the physical education teachers who would have worked in getting the students here. But most of all, I think the students who participated seem to be self-motivated. They wanted that. They wanted to be part of this activity. And I think this year, this opportunity is a good one for these students.
A tsunami impacted the town of Sautères and Hillsborough on Thursday, resulting in widespread destruction. When the tsunami waves subsided, an all clear was issued. That is the scenario that was presented following a simulation eruption of Kikemjeni at 10 a.m., causing a 6.0 magnitude earthquake at a depth of 10 kilometers, which triggered a tsunami with waves of up to 0.86 meters or 2.8 feet. It was all part of Carib Wave 2019, which gave Grenada the opportunity to test the standard operating protocol created in 2018 as part of a pilot tsunami-ready project launched in St. Patrick. The Carib Wave exercise is geared towards improving the effectiveness of the tsunami warning system along the Caribbean coast. Minister with responsibility for disaster management, Senator Winston Garwe, said it is equally important to build resilience and awareness.
If we have to build resilience to tsunamis, to earthquakes, if we have to be able to respond adequately, there must be some level of awareness, education, preparation. So this exercise today was geared at helping you to become more aware as to the realities of tsunami. As you know, Kikemjeni is only 8 kilometers away from St. Patrick's. So it's a real live threat out there.
NADMA's acting coordinator, Superintendent Sylvan McIntyre, said although there were glitches within the exercise, the main objective was met.
We recognize there were quite a few things that went well, and there were quite a number of things that did not go so well. It leaves us to go back to the drawing board, to fix the things that did not go well, the things that did not happen right, the information that did not come at the time we expected it to. But all in all, there is no failed exercise. It is to bring out the reality of what is likely to happen. And so the more you do things, the better you become in preparedness for the reality of what you are not able to prevent.
The exercise, which saw participation from students in St. Patrick, triggered a national response, including Carriacou and Petite Martinique. This is the National Report. Stay with us, we'll have more news after the break.
Last time, we entertained and thrilled you with song, comedy, drama, music, and dance. In 2019, we are back to light up your night as the RGPF Women's Arm presents Shine 2. A showcase of talent from our law enforcement women at the Grenada Trade Center on Saturday, March 16 from 7 p.m. Tickets are $40 in advance, more at the door. Tickets available from members of the RGPF Women's Arm and regular box offices across the island. Shine 2. Come listen to the amazing voices. Laugh your socks off with comedy at its best. A night that will leave you inspired emotionally and gratified. So let's make it a day. Saturday, March 16th at the Grenada Trade Center as we, the RGPF Women's Arm, presents Shine 2.
Welcome back. Elvis Moraine is Grenada's new supervisor of elections. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell confirmed the appointment of Mr. Moraine at the weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday. Mr. Moraine, who is also the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, assumed the role of Supervisor of Elections on March 13, 2019. He replaces Alex Phillip, who has retired from the public service. As Supervisor of Elections, Mr. Moraine is responsible for the general supervision of the voter registration process and for the conduct of the election of members of the House of Representatives. Mr. Moraine holds a Master of Science degree in Human Resource Management and Development from the University of Leicester, a bachelor's degree in Education Administration from the University of the West Indies, and a certificate in Teacher Education. His experience includes 30 years in the field of education, with his last 2 roles being Principal of the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School and Chief Education Officer. Mr. Moraine has also facilitated many leadership and management training events and has also served on many community and national organizations. And finally in the news, Parliamentary Representative for St. Mark, the Honorable Clarice Modeste Cohen, has given a commitment to place more emphasis on youth employment and development. On the heels of a recent education fair, the constituency held a second forum on Tuesday to engage youth and stakeholders, this time on training and career opportunities. Dr. Modeste Cohen says she is concerned about the rate of youth unemployment in the parish. She says the job fair, like the education fair, gives youth options to consider a career path.
Given the unemployment situation here and the fact that there are many jobs available, which I find people either they're not seeking them out because either they don't know or they don't understand the jobs and they think maybe they won't like it. But we're here to encourage them to seek something that they like and pursue it, but also start somewhere, because starting is critical to getting to where you want to go. So you may not like where you start, but every day if you make a commitment, you will get to like what you're doing, and you don't even have to stay there. You might find something that you like more. So there are lots of opportunities in Grenada at this time.
The parliamentary representative highlighted training opportunities for young people, some of which will boost the tourism value of the parish.
We did quite a bit of training in sewing. We did tie-dye and batik because we're looking to find our own niche within the tourism industry right here in the parish, and we're so pleased that the chocolate factory is attracting huge numbers of tourists. So the numbers are important to us, but the dollars are also critical to the economic survival of our people. So we did that training. We have another group who is presently undergoing training for work related to the petroglyphs at Waltham and Duquesne. So they're learning to do the designs so that they can make things with the designs on them, t-shirts, whatever they can do. They've been taught, they've gone through the business management sessions already. That has been completed, and the next thing they're going to be doing is ceramics.
One participant, Deandra Fletcher, is thankful for the opportunity.
The experience wasn't so bad. It was very informative. I liked how a lot of companies came out there and gave us many options, you know, to provide every skill for everybody, because not everybody have the same skills. So it was great.
The job fair at the Victoria Hotel featured Sandals La Source, the GIDC, Clare Harbour, KM2 Solutions, Grenada Development Bank, Ariza Credit Union, and the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. That story brings us to the end of the National Report for Thursday, 14th March 2019. Looking back at the headline, a successful Western Zonal Games staged at the Cuthbert Peters Park. On behalf of all who made the newscast possible, I'm Delroy Lozan, thanking you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Delroy, and everyone else who were part of the production of the National Report. We are out of time, but we'd just like to quickly go through the weather with you. Now, folks, the weather for tonight, we're expecting a minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius. Winds northeasterly to east southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves near 5 feet in open waters. High tides is expected to be at around 10:15 p.m. and low tides 2:45 a.m. Now the weather is expected to be mostly fair with a low chance of a few brief showers by early morning. And that's your weather report, and that's as far as we can go for tonight. Just quickly, we'd like to say hello to Danica, Queenie, Ann, Nika, Angel, Rose, Deslin, Jennifer, Ala, Adore, Colette, Camille, Ezron, Nels, Angela, Veron, Allison, and Raybon, Daria, and Daria, and Hermina, Joan, Ventress, Anne, Sharon, Elisa, Patsy, and ITZZ, Frank, and everyone else who's on the live, right? Rosie, my mom, my sister, Suzette, and everyone else, Khadija, and everyone else. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, God's willing, with another program. God bless you. Have a good one. Good night. God bless you and your family. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, and we will see you tomorrow, God's willing, on another Mikey Live program. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja no. Good night.